All right, let's talk about biohacking. The art of optimizing our bodies. But it turns out there's a huge piece of the puzzle that often gets missed, and it could be the absolute key to unlocking how you really feel your best.
So, have you ever felt like this? You jump on a popular wellness trend, maybe it's aggressive fasting or some super intense daily workout, and you end up feeling more tired and more stressed than when you started? Well, if that sounds familiar, you are definitely not alone, and there's a really good reason why.
So first, what even is biohacking? Really, at its core, it's just the science of self-optimization. It's all about using what we know about biology to make these small, intentional changes to our lifestyle that lead to big improvements in health, energy, and focus.
But here's the thing. A lot of the biohacking advice out there is sold as this universal solution that works for everyone. And that one-size-fits-all model, it has a massive flaw that can make it totally ineffective, or even kind of harmful for about half the population.
And here's the problem. Most of this advice, most of this science, is built around male physiology. See, men's hormones tend to run on a pretty predictable 24-hour cycle. That makes a consistent daily routine a winning strategy. For women, though, the biological landscape is a completely different story.
And if you look at the research, it's pretty staggering. Historically, over 85% of medical and fitness studies were done almost exclusively on men. This has created this huge gender gap in health data, which means the science behind a lot of popular health trends might not really apply to women at all.
And this gap in the research, it leads to some pretty dramatically different outcomes. So let's actually compare how some of these popular strategies can affect men and women in totally different ways. And wow, this table really lays it all out, doesn't it? While a man's hormones, which are mostly driven by testosterone, kind of reset every single day, a woman's hormones flow in a cycle that's about 28 days long. This means that a high-intensity workout or a long fast that feels amazing one week might completely wreck her energy and throw her hormones out of whack the next. So just pushing through? That's not the answer. Adapting is.
So what is the solution? Well, it's this incredibly powerful strategy called cycle syncing. It's an approach that's built for female biology because it honors these crucial hormonal shifts instead of just ignoring them.
So, instead of trying to force your body to fit into some rigid, unchanging routine, cycle syncing is all about tailoring your lifestyle to the 4 very distinct phases of your monthly cycle. It's about working with your biology, not fighting against it.
Okay, let's start with the menstrual phase. This is when both estrogen and progesterone are at their lowest point. Your energy's naturally down, so the key here is to just lean into rest. This is not the time to be pushing for a personal record at the gym. It's time for restorative movement and really nourishing, iron-rich foods like leafy greens and warm soups.
Right after your period, you move into the follicular phase. Estrogen starts to climb, and right along with it, so do your energy levels, your creativity, and your focus. This is the perfect window to schedule those more intense workouts like strength training or HIIT, and to really dig into challenging projects that need sharp thinking.
Then, around the middle of your cycle, you hit the ovulatory phase. Here, estrogen is at its absolute peak. This is when your physical strength and even your verbal skills are at their sharpest. Your energy is through the roof, which makes it the perfect time for your most challenging workouts, for giving a presentation, or for any big social events.
And finally, we enter the luteal phase. Now progesterone, which has a naturally calming effect, begins to rise. Your body's preparing for either pregnancy or your next period, so energy naturally starts to wind down. It's time to shift from high-impact stuff to more nurturing movements like Pilates, and to focus on foods rich in magnesium. Think dark chocolate and nuts, to help ease any PMS symptoms.
So what does this actually look like day to day? Well, it doesn't have to be super complicated. Here's a really simple framework that you can adapt to any phase of your cycle.
So think of this as your basic template. The first 2 steps are all about setting you up for stable energy all day. The last 2 get you ready for deep, restorative sleep. The real magic, though, happens in step 3, your afternoon movement. This is your daily chance to sync up with your cycle. This is where you slot in that HIIT session during your follicular phase, or choose a restorative yoga class in your luteal phase. The rest of the routine just creates a stable foundation that makes that flexibility so much more powerful.
Now, while understanding female biology is a total game changer, it really points to an even deeper principle in health, and this one applies to absolutely everyone.
Ultimately, what this all comes down to is a key idea: bioindividuality. We are all an experiment of one. The goal isn't just to blindly follow a male-centric plan or even a female-centric one.
It's about using these frameworks as a starting point to really listen to your own body and discover your unique blueprint for what makes you feel good.
I love this because it completely reframes the goal. Right? So often, we approach health with this mindset of fighting our bodies, trying to force them to do what we want. But true sustainable wellness really comes from curiosity, from learning to decode the signals your body is sending you all the time.
So, whether it's through tracking your cycle, looking at your sleep data, or just noticing how different foods make you feel, the most powerful biohack of all is simply paying attention. What is your body trying to tell you today?